Do you ever lie awake at night, trapped in your thoughts? Do you replay the same mistakes again and again? Do you ask yourself, what if, until your heart feels heavy? That's overthinking. It steals your time. It steals your peace. It steals your life. But today we stop. Because in the next few minutes, you will discover not just how to silence overthinking, but how to take back control of your mind, your time, and your future. So take a deep breath. Stay with me, and let's begin. My dear friend, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let go of the noise around you, just for a while. Because today, we're going to talk about something that hides in the corners of your mind, something that quietly steals your peace, your sleep, your focus, and sometimes even your happiness. That something is called overthinking. Yes, overthinking. The endless cycle of thoughts that keeps spinning in your mind like a wheel that never stops. You know it, don't you? The way your brain keeps replaying old conversations, imagining future problems, creating stories that may never even happen. The way you sit at night, staring at the ceiling, trapped in what if. And you know what? You are not alone. Millions of people across the world struggle with this. Maybe you thought it's only you, but trust me, almost every human being has faced the storm of overthinking at some point in life. But here's the thing. Thinking is not the enemy. Overthinking is. Thinking helps us solve problems. It helps us plan, prepare, create, and grow. But when thinking crosses its healthy limit and turns into overthinking, it becomes poison. A poison that slowly paralyzes your ability to act. A poison that makes you doubt yourself, delay decisions, and lose opportunities. Today, in this long and deep conversation, I want to take you on a journey. A journey where we will uncover what overthinking really is, why it happens, how it affects our life, and most importantly, how you can break free from it. So sit back. Imagine you are not just listening to words, but you are sitting in a quiet space, and I am talking directly to you, heart to heart. Because this is not just a speech. This is a reminder. This is a mirror. This is a key to unlock the door you've been stuck behind for too long. Overthinking is not just thinking too much. It is thinking in circles. It is going over the same thought again and again, like rewinding a movie scene endlessly. It's when you ask yourself questions like, did I say the right thing? What if they don't like me? What if I fail? What if something goes wrong? And notice, the answers never come. Because the mind doesn't want answers. The mind just wants to keep spinning. Overthinking is like quicksand. The more you struggle inside it, the deeper you sink. But why do we overthink? Overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of the unknown. Imagine this. You have a chance to apply for your dream job. But instead of applying, you spend hours thinking, what if I get rejected? What if I'm not good enough? What if I embarrass myself? And by the time you finish thinking, the deadline is passed. This is how overthinking kills dreams. Not because you are weak. Not because you are incapable. But because you let fear sit in the driver's seat. Sometimes, overthinking comes from perfectionism. You want everything to be perfect, every word, every action. So you wait, you delay, you polish, and in the end, you never begin. Sometimes overthinking is a habit you don't even notice. Your brain has trained itself to keep worrying, to replay old mistakes, to imagine worst-case scenarios. And sometimes, overthinking is a way of trying to control life. You think, if I keep thinking about all the possibilities, maybe I can prevent bad things from happening. But here's the truth. Overthinking does not give you control. It only takes away your peace. Overthinking looks harmless, but it costs more than you realize. It costs you time, hours, days, even years wasted in thoughts that never helped. It costs you opportunities, jobs not applied for, people not approached, dreams never started. It costs you health, stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, headaches, even depression. It costs you relationships. Because when you overthink, you create doubts, misunderstandings, and walls between you and others. Tell me honestly, how many times have you created a whole story in your head about what someone thinks of you, only to find out later that it was not even true? That is the cost of overthinking. Now listen carefully because this is important. Overthinking gives you the illusion of control. You think, if I just keep thinking, maybe I'll figure it out. But in reality, the more you think, the less you do. And the less you do, the less control you actually have. Life moves forward through action, not through endless thought. Imagine a driver who keeps turning the steering wheel left and right, but never presses the accelerator. Where will the car go? Nowhere. That is the life of an overthinker. Now you may be wondering, all right, I get it. Overthinking is bad. But how do I stop? My mind doesn't listen. The thoughts keep coming. Don't worry. I am going to share with you powerful, practical steps. Steps you can use in daily life. And remember, I am not giving you theory. I am giving you tools. Tools that will help you silence the noise and take control back. The first step to breaking free from overthinking is awareness. You cannot change what you are not aware of. So start noticing. Notice when your thoughts are running in circles. Notice when you are replaying the past or fearing the future. For example, if you catch yourself lying awake at night thinking about tomorrow's meeting, pause. Tell yourself, wait, this is overthinking. I see it. Awareness breaks the automatic cycle. It shines a light in the dark room of your mind. Here is a simple but powerful trick. When your mind is overloaded with thoughts, take a pen and paper. Write everything down. Why? Because the brain is not designed to store endless loops of thoughts. Once you put them on paper, the mind feels lighter. You may write, I am worried about this project. I am scared of failure. I don't know what will happen. And suddenly, you see the monster outside your head. And when you see it clearly, it becomes smaller. Writing creates clarity. Writing creates distance. Writing turns the fog of overthinking into something you can actually deal with. Remember this line. Action is the enemy of overthinking. Whenever you find yourself stuck in, should I? Shouldn't I? Just do something small. Want to start a business? Instead of thinking for months, take one small step. Research, call someone, make a plan. Want to improve your health? Instead of thinking about the perfect diet, just go for a 10-minute walk. Action breaks the loop. Action creates momentum. Because the truth is, clarity doesn't come from thinking. Clarity comes from doing. Here's another technique. Give yourself a fixed thinking time. Tell yourself, all right, I will think about this problem for 15 minutes. After that, I will stop and move on. Set a timer if you need to. When the timer ends, close the topic. This way, you don't let your mind roam endlessly. You create boundaries. And boundaries create freedom. Overthinking lives in two places, the past and the future. IT says, what if I had done this differently? Or, what if something goes wrong tomorrow? But peace lives in only one place, the present. So train your mind to return to the now. How? Through simple mindfulness. Notice your breath. Notice the sounds around you. Notice how your body feels. When you are present, overthinking has no soil to grow. My friend. I know it is not easy. I know the mind is powerful, and thoughts can feel like storms. But remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You can choose which thoughts to feed and which to let go. Overthinking is like clouds passing through the sky. You are the sky. You remain vast, free, open. The clouds will come and go. They don't define you. Now listen. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve to live a life of action, not hesitation. The world does not need your endless doubts. The world needs your courage, your creativity, your unique gifts. And every time you silence overthinking, you step closer to your true potential. So now, my friend, let's go deeper. We have already spoken about awareness, writing your thoughts down, taking action, limiting your thinking time, and returning to the present moment. But overcoming overthinking is not a one-time fix. It is a journey, a practice, a daily choice. And on this journey, there are more steps, more truths, and more tools that will make you stronger. Most people believe everything their mind says. But not every thought is true. Not every thought deserves your attention. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask, is this thought a fact or just my fear? Will this matter 5 years from now? Is this thought helping me or hurting me, for example? You think, I am not good enough for this job. Pause. Question it. Is that a fact? Or is it just fear talking? Often, you will realize that most thoughts are nothing but smoke. They feel real, but they have no solid ground. Overthinking lives in what-ifs. What if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if it goes wrong? But here's a powerful shift. Replace what if with even if. Even if I fail, I will learn and rise again. Even if they laugh, I will still be me. Even if it goes wrong, I will find another way. Do you feel the difference? What if traps you in fear? Even if gives you freedom and courage. Perfection is one of the biggest fuels of overthinking. You wait for the perfect idea, the perfect timing, the perfect plan, and in waiting, you lose your chance. Instead, aim for progress. Small steps, consistent steps. Because progress, no matter how small, beats perfection that never comes. Remember this. Done is better than perfect. Action is better than hesitation. We live in a world of endless information. News, social media, opinions, videos, messages, they never stop. And too much input leads to too much thinking. So simplify. Reduce the noise. Choose what you consume. Limit your screen time. Stop comparing your life to everyone else's highlight reels on social media. Because comparison is the fuel of overthinking. When you compare, you lose clarity. When you focus on your own journey, you gain peace. The root of overthinking lies self-doubt. You don't trust your choices. You don't trust your ability to handle life. So you keep thinking and rethinking, as if somehow you'll find certainty. But life never gives certainty. Life gives chances. Life gives opportunities. So you must trust yourself. Trust that whatever comes, you will handle it. Trust that mistakes will make you wiser. Trust that you are capable of more than you think. The day you trust yourself is the day overthinking loses its grip. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who had to catch a train for an important job interview. He reached the platform early, but then he started thinking, is this the right train? What if I get on the wrong one? Should I wait? What if I miss it? While he stood there, lost in thought, the train arrived and left. He missed it, not because he was late, not because he was incapable, but because he was trapped in overthinking. This is what happens in life. Opportunities are like trains. They arrive, they open the door, they wait for a moment, and then they leave. If you stand on the platform of hesitation, you will miss them. So remember, it is better to take a step and adjust later than to take no step at all. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to overthinking.
Why?
Because overthinking focuses on what you lack, what went wrong, what might go wrong. But gratitude shifts your focus to what is already good. When you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking, oh no, another stressful day, say, thank you. I have a new day to live, to breathe, to try again. Gratitude calms the storm of the mind. Gratitude reminds you that not everything is broken. Gratitude anchors you to the present. You may not realize it, but overthinking is not just mental. It is also physical. When you don't sleep well, when you eat junk, when you don't move your body, your brain becomes restless. Thoughts become louder. But when you exercise, when you eat healthy, when you rest well, your mind becomes calmer. Strong body, strong mind. Something as simple as a daily walk, deep breathing, or yoga can silence overthinking more than hours of analysis. Sometimes the best way to stop overthinking is to share your thoughts with someone you trust. A friend, a mentor, a family member. When you speak out loud, the burden becomes lighter. Because often when you hear your own words, you realize how exaggerated your worries are. So don't keep everything locked inside. Talking is healing. Here is one of the hardest truths. You cannot control everything. You cannot control what people think. You cannot control the future. You cannot control every outcome. But you can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control your actions today. Overthinking happens when we try to control the uncontrollable. So let go. Trust life. Do your best and accept the rest. Many people overthink because of past pain. They keep replaying mistakes, regrets, heartbreaks. But listen, your past is not a prison. Your past is a teacher. Instead of overthinking your wounds, use them as fuel. If you failed once, let that failure teach you resilience. If someone hurt you, let that pain teach you empathy. If you regret something, let it push you to make better choices now. Pain is not meant to trap you. Pain is meant to transform you. My friend, let me tell you something deeply important. Overthinking is not a sign that you are weak. Overthinking is a sign that you care. You care about doing well. You care about the future. You care about people. But caring too much without balance becomes a cage. And today, I want you to break free from that cage. Think of your mind like a hand holding a rope. The tighter you grip, the more the rope burns your skin. Overthinking is that tight grip. Letting go is not weakness. Letting go is freedom. You don't have to solve everything right now. You don't have to know every answer today. You just have to take one step, one breath, one choice at a time. As we reach the end of this long journey together, let me leave you with this. Life is short. Too short to waste in endless cycles of thought. You were not born to sit in fear. You were not born to live in hesitation. You were born to create, to love, to grow, to shine. So the next time your mind traps you in overthinking, remember these words. You are stronger than your thoughts. You are wiser than your fears. You are capable of action, courage, and progress. Overthinking may knock on your door, but You don't have to let it stay. You can acknowledge it, smile at it, and then move forward. Because beyond the fog of overthinking lies the clear sky of freedom. And that sky is waiting for you. So breathe. Trust yourself. Take the step. The world is ready for you. Not the overthinking you, not the doubting you, but the real you. The bold, alive, present you. And when you choose to live in action, not overthinking, you don't just change your day. You change your life. Thank you for listening, my friend. Now go. Live. Act. Be free.